श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद भागवतम की ऑल ग्लोरीज assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayesa Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. On the most auspicious occasion of Sri Varahadeva, the appearance day of Lord Varahadeva, we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam on the Pastimes of Lord Varahadeva, Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 28. Yam Yoginaha Yoga Samadhina Rahaha Dhyayanti Lingad Asataha Mumukshaya Tasya Yeshaha Daitya Rishabhaha Pada Hahataha Mukam Prapasyan Tanum Ussasarja Ha. Yam yogino yoga samadhinaraho Yam yogino yoga samadhinaraho Dhyayanti lingada sato mumukshaya Dhyayanti lingada sato mumukshaya Tasyaisa daitya rishabha padahato Tasyaisa daitya rishabha padadato Mukam prapashyam tanumutsa sarjaha Mukam prapashyam tanumutsa sarjaha Yam yogino yoga samadhinaraho Dhyayanti lingada sato mumukshaya Tasyaisa daitya rishabha padahato Mukam prapashyam tanumutsa sarjaha Yam yogino yoga samadhinaraho Dhyayanti lingada sato mumukshaya Tasyaisa daitya rishabha padahato Mukam prapashyam tanumutsa sarjaha Yam yogino yoga samadhinaraho Dhyayanti lingada sato mumukshaya तस्यैष दैत्य ऋषभ पदाहतो मुखं प्रपश्यं तनुमुत्ससर्जः शान्तनुमुत्ससर्जः Okay, you read. I have to call. Hey! Yogino yoga samadhinaraho Dayanti lingada sato mumukshaya Tashaisha daita rishabhapatahato Okay, you. Yam yogino yoga samadhinaraho Dayanti lingada sato mumukshaya Tashaisha daita rishabhapadahato Mukam prapashyam tanumutsasajam. Somebody recited halfway through and stopped. Anybody? Yam yogino yoga samadhinaho Dayanti lingada sato mumukshaya Rishabhapadahato Matajis Yogino yoga samadhinaraho Dayanti lingada sato mumukshaya Shaisha Daita Rishabha Padahato Mukam Prapasyam Tanumutsa Sarjaha. What the word meaning? Yam, whom? Yoginaha, the yogis. Yoga Samadhina, in mystic trance. Rahaha, in seclusion. Dhyayanti, meditate upon. Lingat, from the body. Asataha, unreal. Mumukshaya, seeking freedom. Tasya, of him. Yeshaha, this. Daitya, son of Diti. Rishabhaha, the crest jewel. Pada, by a foot. Ahataha, struck. Mukam, countenance. Prapashyan, while gazing on. Tanum, the body. Utsasarja, he cast off. Ha, indeed. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. Brahma continued. He was struck by a forefoot of the Lord, whom yogis, seeking freedom from their unreal material bodies, meditate upon in seclusion, in mystic trance. While gazing on his countenance, the crest jewel of Diti's sons has cast off his mortal coil. Purport by His Divine Grace. The process of yoga is very clearly described in this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is said here that the ultimate end of the yogis and the mystics who perform meditation is to get rid of this material body. Therefore, they meditate in secluded places to attain yogic trance. Yoga has to be performed in secluded place, not in public or in a demonstration on stage, as nowadays practiced by many so-called yogis. Real yoga aims at ridding one of the material body. Yoga practice is not intended to keep the body fit and young. Such advertisements of so-called yoga are not approved by any standard method. Particularly mentioned in this verse is the word yam, or unto whom, indicating that meditation should be targeted on the personality of Godhead. Even if one concentrates his mind on the bore form of the Lord, that is also yoga. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, one who concentrates his mind constantly in meditation upon the personality of Godhead is one of his many varieties of forms. He is the first class yogi, and he can very easily attain trance simply by meditating upon the form of the Lord. If one is able to continue such meditation on the Lord's form, at the time of one's death, one is liberated from this mortal body and is transferred to the kingdom of God. This opportunity was given to the demon by the Lord, and therefore Brahma and other demigods were astonished. In other words, the perfection of yoga practice can be attained by a demon also if he is simply kicked by the Lord. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Sakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Lankayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Bande Sri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastascha Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. In the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a conversation between Maitreya Rishi and Vidura. So Maitreya Rishi was explaining to Vidura about the appearance of Manu, father of mankind, from Lord Brahma. So Manu actually respectfully submitted to his father, please tell me what should I do. Very rare, not deciding anything independently. And he said, okay, the purpose of this creation is we have to populate it. So you please progenate and then populate this world. So then he said, okay, fine, I'll do that. Where should I do that? So when Lord Brahma was meditating actually, by the time the earth planet actually submerged into the ocean, Garbhodaka ocean. So he was going to tell earth and then said, well, the earth is not there actually, already submerged. So in this way, Maitreya Rishi explains to Vidura how at the time when Brahma was thinking what to do, the earth is, he told him to go and populate and the earth planet is not even there. As he was meditating, from the nostril of Lord Brahma, a tiny, very small boar form came, small form. And that form actually expanded so big. Shri Radha Ras Bihari Ji ki, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Shri Gaurnitai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So this form of the Lord, which actually came from the nostril, it had actually the white complexion. Sveta Varaha. Varaha, Sveta Varaha. And this is actually happened on the 50 years of Lord Brahma is one section, another 50 years. So 50 years has already passed. So we are in the second half of Brahma's life. So in the very beginning, the Varaha came, and that Kalpa is also known as Sveta Varaha Kalpa. Sveta Varaha Kalpa. So this small boar, according to Jiva Goswami, see, the small boar expanded into so big, and then he actually roared tumultuously. The Lord's sound, any sound coming from, is as good as Veda personified. Auspicious, brings auspiciousness. So in this way, the Lord, playing like an elephant, the earth planet has already submerged. So he actually, such a huge form, he dived actually. He dived into this ocean, Garbhodaka ocean. So when he just dived in, the water of Garbha ocean divided into two, as if he is splitting it into two. The ocean said, oh please, don't destroy me. Please, I am at your service anyway. But the Lord wants to perform his pastime. He does it in his own sweet will. So in this way, the Lord swam down. And see, the boar, important quality of boar, it smells. Smell capacity is very high. It can find an object by smelling. Pig is the version of the boar. We may not see the boar. Boar live in the forest, wild boar. Pig is same family. They are good in smell, finding the object by smelling. So the Lord in the same way, trying to smell the earth planet, trying to find out, he reached already the bottom of the ocean. So in this way, the Lord, when he reached the earth planet, he lifted the earth planet. The boars have two tusks, like an elephant. Elephant has got tusks, like that they also have tusks. So he took the boar and held it on the tusk. Many times we see the picture of Lord Varahara holding the earth planet in the tusk. So in this way, the Lord came out of the ocean, and then he splashed. Sometimes, the animals, when they enter into water, they come out, they do like this, splash it. The Lord also splashed like that. That water actually sprinkled like, the water, Maha water, sprinkling like that. It reached the Janalok, Tapalok and Satyalok. And everybody felt ecstatic, because the water touched by the Supreme Lord is coming on their head. And they were glorifying the Lord. Oh, we are more purified than the austerities, purification that they achieved by means of all the austerities we have done. More purified today. So in this way, the Lord rescued the earth planet and placed it on the proper place and made it float, and so that Manu can start his work, go ahead with the procreation. So this is Sweta Varaha. Then Vidura was asking, oh really, acha, okay, but I heard that the Varahadeva killed Hiranyaksha, what is that? And here, what happened? There are many versions, because the Lord appears several times. Each time, different kalpas, there are different pastimes. So, Maitreya said, yes, that is also there. There's another Varaha. So, Maitreya started explaining about what is the cause of that Varahadeva to appear, Hiranyaksha, to kill Hiranyaksha. Then he describes about how Diti, one of the 13 daughters of Daksha, married to Kashyapa Muni. And when Kashyapa Muni was meditating, in the evening, Diti, wanting to beget children, approached Kashyapa. Kashyapa said that no, this is not the right time. Sun is setting. Conception has to be in the auspicious time. Then the progeny becomes, auspicious, brings auspiciousness. He said, no, this is not the right time, we wait. And she didn't want to wait. She was overcome by the lust. So, Kashyapa at the end, even though not willing, he agreed to her proposal, and then he impregnated her. After that, she felt she has done something wrong. And she came and said, please protect my embryo so that it is not destroyed by Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, by the way, is brother-in-law of Diti, because Sati is her sister. Sati is married to Shiva. Generally, Lord Shiva takes a round in the evening along with his followers. So during that time, such kind of activity done, they bring inauspiciousness. So she was worried. Please, you protect my embryo so that my embryo is not destroyed. Kashyapa Muni said, you have done something wrong, that you know that. But from your condemned womb, he himself is telling it's condemned, 2 contemptuous sons will be born, and they will create trouble to everybody in this world. Because the conception was done in the inauspicious time, they will bring inauspiciousness everywhere. The Supreme Lord has to come to kill them. Nobody else can handle them actually. The Supreme Lord himself has to come and kill. And because you are lamenting for what you have done wrong and you have faith in me, you have faith in Lord Shiva, one good thing is that even though you will give birth to inauspicious children, but your grandson will be a great devotee. Prahlad Maharaj, he will appear as son of your son. So in this way, when Diti was pregnant, even before the birth of the children, inauspiciousness started manifesting. Everywhere darkness was spreading. So much darkness that even in sun and moon's brilliance were reduced to nothing. You can imagine how much darkness could be. If sun is shining, in a rainy day, complete cloud, then it looks like there is no shine, More than that. Complete covering, darkness. All the inauspicious signs started manifesting. And all the demigods, they thought, what happened? So much dark? And they all approached Lord Brahma and asked Lord Brahma, please, no, we can't execute our duties. What will we do? Please do something about this. What should we do? Why is this darkness? Why is there so much inauspiciousness? So Lord Brahma starts explaining, this inauspiciousness is because of two Vaikuntha Vasis. They have come down by a curse of my 4 sons, the first 4 sons. So Lord Brahma starts explaining how the 4 Kumaras, in eagerness to have the audience of the Supreme Lord, in their travel, they crossed all the planetary systems and they crossed Karana Ocean. They crossed the Brahma Jyoti. How much power. Finally, they landed upon the Vaikuntha. In Vaikuntha, they already felt so much ecstasy, happiness. And they entered one door, nobody stopped. They entered another door. Like that they started entering different doors. And 7th door, when it came, then they saw 2 doorkeepers, brilliantly dressed. Effulgence is coming from them. And they were guarding the gates. So the 4 Kumaras, Lord Brahma explains that they just wanted to enter actually. The small children, they don't see so much formalities. Whereas the doorkeepers were seeing them, small children, not wearing any dress, naked, and they were trying to enter. So the doorkeepers thought, they were not even properly dressed, how can we make them to enter? So whether they have permission or not, they were not sure. They said, no, you can't enter. When the Kumaras were stopped like that, they felt very unhappy and angry. They thought, who are these 2 trying to distinguish between the residents as their own and we as foreigners? They thought that you are not belonging to here, how can you enter? And this is the symptom of manifestation of duality. Differentiating between opposite realities. In the Vaikuntha, there is one reality, everything is truth, absolute truth. Satchidananda. There is no matter there. There is no darkness there. Brilliance, light, Brahma Jyoti. Here, light and darkness, happiness and suffering, good and bad. This is the world of duality. In the transcendental world, everything is absolute. There is no duality there. Whereas these two imposters, they already labeled them, they don't really belong here. How can they develop such a quality? That they think that we cannot enter because we don't belong to this realm. How can an enemy enter into the Vaikuntha? How can an enemy can get land on Vaikuntha anyway? They have entered means they had the sufficient qualification to have the audience of the Lord. So they said, you don't actually belong here. You belong down. You have to go there. Since you are exhibiting the quality of duality, please go to the world of duality and get rid of the world of duality, then you can come here. So one of the important thing is that we have to know that we have to come out of the thinking process of dualities. If that doesn't happen, duality, the world of duality only one remains. As soon as they realized that something went wrong, these are going to curse us. They are telling that we have to go down to the material world. They actually fell down at the lotus feet of the Kumaras. Then said, please forgive us. In the meantime, the Supreme Lord, something goes wrong at the gate, sometimes noise happens at the gate, then top managers have to go. The Lord himself came and he saw the situation. This is a wonderful thing. They came to have the audience of the Lord. The Lord himself came to give the audience from inside. From his lotus feet, it is described how the aroma of the tulsi leaves and manjaris, the aroma which entered into the nostrils of Kumaras, they were actually Brahmavadis. Brahman realized. But then by smelling the aroma from the lotus, from the tulsi leaves coming from the lotus feet of the Lord, they were fully surcharged with the pure devotion. So, the Supreme Lord came and he said, oh, my dear Kumaras, I ask for forgiveness because my servants have done something wrong. The servant or a student or a disciple has a responsibility actually to act according to his situation, keeping in view what is he expected to be doing. Suppose a servant has to understand the mind of the master and act accordingly. Not that master is thinking one thing, you go and do something else. Sometimes one is supposed to be understanding the mind and doing. There are categories of people, even after explicitly telling that you do it, they cannot do it also. Suppose in the older days, if a student does something wrong, a small boy does something wrong, especially in the villages and towns, something bad, they'll ask, whose son are you? Which family you belong to? Which school you are studying? So if something wrong is done, then it affects the father, it affects the grandfather, it affects the school you are studying from. इतना भी मालूम नहीं तुमको कौन सिखाया? कोई बोलेगा नहीं I am the son of this person. अरे, he was a great gentleman. How you came in his family actually? A disciple supposed to do according to the standard of the spiritual master and the parampara. Suppose we as devotees, appearing to be like devotees, go and do something wrong in public. if it is not acceptable standard. Somebody will ask, "Hare, where are you from?" "I am from ISKCON." "अरे ISKCON में तो अच्छा लोग है, तुम कैसे आ गए?" आपका गुरुजी है, अमेरिका तक जाकर कि मिलेचे को भक्त बनाया, तुम कैसा ऐसा कर रहे हैं? Our doing will reflect upon the parampara actually. If we cannot do something good, at least we should not do bad, Somebody should not say, "Prabhupada तो ऐसा था, how come you became like this?" Prabhupada का नाम में कुछ खराब नहीं करना चाहिए कि नहीं? Can you imagine the Supreme Lord is coming to Kumaras and then, "Please forgive me." So these doorkeepers made the Supreme Lord to take apology from the devotees. Can you imagine this? That was the offense of the doorkeepers, Jai and Vijay. So in this way, then he said that, "No, let it happen." And Kumaras were confused. Kumaras thought that they made a mistake. "My dear Lord, whatever happened, if anything is wrong, we did, or anything is wrong, please tell what to do." He said, No. What you have done, it has got my approval. The curse of the Kumaras was endorsed by the Supreme Lord himself. And the Supreme Lord said, "If I actually want, I can neutralize it." If Supreme Lord wants, he can neutralize it. He said, "No, I don't want to do it. I have the approval. I gave the approval because you go down." It is stated by Maitreya Rishi how previously when Lakshmi ji went outside the abode, when she came back, at the time Narayana was resting. Same Jai and Vijay stopped her also. It's not the first time. थोड़ा habit हो गया. Power of habits. Previously he stopped and she was very upset. And she told that these fellows have to go down. But she didn't curse. So for that, Jai and Vijay has to offend these Kumaras, and the Kumaras have to curse him. Brahmanas curse is very powerful, cannot be neutralized. So in this way, Brahma started explaining, because of the curse of 4 Kumaras, 2 doorkeepers, Jai and Vijay, they have taken shelter in the womb of Diti. Because of which you are seeing all this inauspiciousness. All this inauspiciousness. But don't worry, very soon things will become all right. When there is bad thing, good things are also going to come, because world of duality, uninvited, bad and good, world of duality. So, in this way, these 2 entities, Jai and Vijay, in the womb, they were there for 100 years. 100 years. And this all inauspiciousness was prevailing for 100 years. And during this, not only darkness, there are so many natural disturbances. Earthquakes, and then thunder, without clouds, so much thunder, fire, and the wind is blowing everywhere, and the gigantic trees are falling down, lightning, and rivers and lakes were agitated, lotuses were not blooming, they are withering, and sun and moon became without any effulgence. And so much inauspiciousness. The jackals, she jackals were vomiting fire. And the owls were crying so much so that the dogs making so much noise. The asses braying. By hearing the asses braying, the cows were so terrified that from their udders, instead of milk, blood was coming. Blood was coming. And in this way, when all these things are happening, these were known to the four Kumaras. They knew that, okay, they thought that one simple curse and so much effect here actually. Even doorkeepers coming down and taking the form of a demon, how much disturbance it can create, Nobody can ever get a solution for this. So, in this way, these two conceptions were born as two children. The first one to be born was Hiranyaksha. It is stated in the Pinda Siddhi that when a child is conceived first and one more child is conceived, a twin, the first one conceived is actually the elder. He comes first. The child conceived second, it will take birth first, even though he is born first. But according to our material calculation, the person who is born first is elder, Born next is younger. No. According to Pinda Siddhi, the person who is conceived first is elder. And the conceived first comes second actually. So in that way, Hiranyaksha actually came out of the womb first. But is the younger one actually. Hiranyakashipu came next. So when these two were born, Kashyapa gave the name Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. And they were so strong. Their body appeared to be like made of steel. They grew up very big, so much so that their crown used to touch the clouds. The clouds, how tall they must be. They went around everywhere, challenging people. And nobody could actually fight and win with them. Very powerful, very powerful. They exhibited extraordinary strength. So much so that when they went to heavenly planet, all the demigods were hiding. Hare, Hiranyaksha aa gaya. Exactly like the snakes will hide when they see Garuda. When Garuda is hovering over, the snakes and all hide home. Like that, demigods, so powerful, they were hiding. So this Hiranyaksha, just for fun, he actually dived into the ocean. Exactly like Varaha dived during Sweta Varaha Kalpa. Now we are in Shakshusha Manvantara. This is happening in Shakshusha Manvantara. He just dived in and then he was swimming down. And when he was swimming down, it was also creating like a tsunami. In the ocean, when there is an earthquake, then it gives so much tremor that waves go high, like that big tsunami he created. And he swam down all the way to Vibhavari, the abode of Varuna. The abode of Varuna, water, god of water, is Vibhavari. And he went there, Varuna was there, he paid obeisances. And he said, I want to fight, please come and fight with me. Those heavenly denizens have hidden like a snake seeing the Garuda, and he comes and tells Varuna, I feel like fighting, chalo, let's fight. Friendly fight, it looked like. But Varuna said, मैं तो बुढ़ा हो गया. Nowadays I am not interested in fighting. We have become old. And one thing I can tell you actually, to you the one person who can give good fight is Lord Vishnu. Just go to him. So he said, see, somebody in the fight means if somebody says that no, I don't want to fight, you can't fight with him. Now you can't pull him actually. Kshatriya, there is a Yuddha Dharma. Battlefield, Yuddha also there is some code of conduct. He said, I don't want to fight, then how can you fight with him? But he said, he will defeat. Especially the demon, when he is told that somebody will defeat, they get angry. Huh? Who can defeat me? He thought that nobody can defeat me. Somebody can defeat. Who is that? Vishnu. He went to Narada to find out where is Vishnu. Narada said, "Theek hai." So in this way, when he was coming, swimming out of this ocean, he saw actually Varahadeva holding the earth planet. In fact, this Hiranyaksha has disturbed the earth planet. Even though it is explicitly not mentioned in Bhagavatam, different Puranas mentioned in different ways. He has displaced the earth planet and it made it to fall down in the Garbha ocean. So the Lord was again took the Varaha form, and this time it was red in color. Sweta Varaha, this is Rakta Varaha, red in color. When he saw Bho, he said, "Oh, you are Vanagochara Mriga." He said, "You are a amphibious beast. You took a form of a beast? What is this?" And he actually started abusing Lord Varaha. "Today I will kill you. All the sages and all, they are all offering oblations to you. They all will be finished. Because of their nourishment, you are there. And once you are dead, all this entire dharma will go away, all the sages will go away. Today I will teach you a lesson." In this way, Hiranyaksha was abusing Lord Varaha like anything. So, even though the Lord was pained by the abusers, he just came out of the water and he placed the earth planet on the surface of the ocean and made it to float by his internal potency. Made it to float, an internal potency. And this Hiranyaksha was telling, "Hey, why are you running away?" A Kshatriya doesn't run away. And he was abusing. "You don't run away. Come, let us fight." The Lord said, yes, coming, wait, don't worry. Yes, I am a creature from the jungle, but I am searching for a dog like you. We are wild animal. You are a dog. When somebody is called a dog, obviously, you get angry. Searching for a dog like you to hunt. So today is the time for hunting a dog like you. By hearing that, Hiranyaksha was trembling with anger like a cobra wanting to attack. So he actually took his, the mace, Gadaida, and he was trying to hit the Supreme Lord. The Lord dodged. He did not take the blow. So in this way, there is a description about the fight of Lord Varahadeva with Hiranyaksha. And it is said that both of them were hitting each other. And both of them were, trying to defeat the other one. And injuries both of them sustained. The Lord's injuries are transcendental. Sustained. And it is stated that it is like two bulls. They are fighting. Two bulls are fighting with each other for a cow. Mother Earth is there floating. These two are fighting. So it is two bulls fighting for a cow. And the demigods were completely terrified to see the fight. They have never seen such a fight before. So Lord Brahma said that this demon has become a thorn, like a thorn. Please, my dear Lord, finish him off immediately. We know that he can finish him off. I know at least. Finish him off. There is no need to play with a serpent-like person like this. Sometimes hero and villain, when they are fighting, the fight is for some time. It is not that immediately. Thoda maja aata. Sometimes the hero loses also. No, oh, what happened? And then hero is back. Right. These are all learned by our Bollywood from Varaha and Hiranyaksha's fight. Because it has happened, that is all duplicate. Nakli hai, ye real hai actually. A nakli fight hai, the hero and villain fight hai, pick it up from Lord Varaha's fight. So, Lord Brahma said, I unnecessarily gave boon to him, so he became powerful. Brahma always gives boon and then later on repents. Kya karega? Unnecessarily gave, he became so powerful. Please, he is like a snake. Please finish him off. Kill him immediately. So, Brahma said, now the time of Abhijit has come. Abhijit Nakshatra has come. Good time to win. Not during inauspicious time. Very auspicious time has come. My dear Lord, please wind up. No, how long it will go on like this? So in this way, the Lord made a tumultuous sound, accepting Lord Brahma's prayers. Said, well, theek hai, malum hai. So in this way, Hiranyaksha with his mace, he hit Varaha on his mace, and the Lord's mace, Gada, slipped out of his hand. Hota hai na Bollywood mein? Now Varaha is not having any weapon and Hiranyaksha is having a mace. So he can hit, right? And Hiranyaksha said, you don't have a weapon, so I will not also hit you. You didn't hit actually. Yuddha dharma. Even demons actually follow some dharma. It's nature actually, culture. Even demons used to have some culture. Duryodhana, he also followed a lot of rules. They follow. He didn't hit actually. Oh, you think that you will not hit me? Then Lord showed, no, don't think I don't have any weapon. Aisa kiya, Sudarshan Chakra. Don't worry, I have my weapon. So in this way, the Lord invoked Sudarshan Chakra and standing in front of him, and Hiranyaksha then threw his mace on Lord Varaha, and Lord Varahara kicked that mace like a football is being kicked with his left foot. Sometimes it is said with the left foot. Left foot is more insulting actually. Right foot is better than left foot. Kicking also, if you are kicking with the left foot, that is more worse. Right foot thoda little better. With the left foot, they kicked. And then the Lord said, okay, you take your weapon. See, when you are in a defeating position, you are offered something, you become more insulted. ठीक है, पैर से kick कर दिया, ले लो भाई. Why I will take? And he took his trident. Mace चला जाएगा तो क्या trident है. And then he was throwing the trident towards Lord Varaha. Varaha ठीक है. Sudarshan Chakra तो already है ना. Sudarshan Chakra cut into pieces all, this trident completely. So in this way, the Supreme Lord and Hiranyaksha then started fighting with bare hands. And Hiranyaksha was trying to give punch on Varaha. And it is said that that punch was like elephant is hit by a garland. Garland lekar ke elephant go. Elephant go, even if you take a stick and hit, it will not feel it actually. What to speak of garland? It didn't actually feel anything. And the demon actually then started creating illusion, creating some darkness, and stones are flying from all directions. Maya. By mystic power, yoga power. And Krishna is Yogeshwara. What power he can show to the Krishna? From the rain, from the sky, rain of pus and the hair and blood were coming, stones were coming, etc., etc. And it was so dark, you can't see. Then the Lord sent his Sudarshan Chakra, which dispelled all these mystic, illusions created by Hiranyaksha. So then, as the Lord sent this Sudarshan Chakra to dispel the illusion, immediately Diti, mother of Hiranyaksha, felt a shock in the heart. Something is going to happen. So much so that from her breast, blood started flowing out. Blood. Inauspiciousness. The milk is flowing means auspiciousness, right? Blood. So Hiranyaksha, what he did, I will catch hold of Varaha and I will actually crush him and then he will be finished. So he came and he held it and he thought he held it. He was trying to crush. Nothing is happening. He saw the Lord is outside his bound actually. किधर पकड़ा? वो सोचा पकड़ गया. He is outside actually. Great yogis, they try to capture the Paramatma within the heart by means of their control of the mind. The Lord is faster than the mind and he goes away. And this stupid fellow physically is trying to catch, not even with the mind, physically. So with that, when he came out of his binding, he was trying to hit him, Hiranyaksha. Then the Lord Varaha, with his 4 foot, see, he has 4 foot, it is more like a hand, and he gave one slap, you can say slap or kick, behind the ears. कभी कभी लोग बोलते हैं ना, कान का नीचे बजाएगा. लॉर्ड वराहदेव हिरण्याक्ष का कान के नीचे बजाया. Srimad Bhagavatam says. Maitreya Rishi is explaining. So the slap was like thunderbolt. With his front foot, one kick he gave, like a thunderbolt. His eyes were coming out, bulging out. And the legs were broken, the head was scattered. And after all these things, it is only one slap that worked. That was a real slap. Other things were thoda fighting karna. Friendly fight. All the while, whatever happened was a friendly fight. And the real thing was, it required only one slap actually. One slap of the Lord to finish off Hiranyaksha. So he fell down and looking at the lotus face of Varahadeva, Hiranyaksha actually departed. This sloka that we read, Brahma is telling that, stuck by the 4 foot of the Lord, the yogis actually seek shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord by means of such meditation. That feet upon which all the yogis are meditating, the Lord took that foot and gave a slap. And Brahma is telling how fortunate Hiranyaksha is. How fortunate Hiranyaksha is. And with that, he fell down and looking at the lotus face of the Supreme Lord, he actually departed. Like yogis, by looking at the lotus face of the Lord, they actually go back home, back to Godhead. Such a wonderful thing. Srila Prabhupada writes in this purport how the purpose of yoga is to achieve the shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. Though sometimes yoga is used for keeping the body fit. Modern day yoga days, trying to do exercises. It's only one part of it. You keep it fit so that you can meditate nicely. Meditation nahi karega to yoga is not complete. Yoginam api sarvesham mad gatenantaratmanaha. Of all kinds of yogis, one who is meditating upon the Supreme Lord all the time is sarvesham. He is the best of the yogis. So in this way, the yogis, what the yogis are trying to achieve by means of that yogic practice, Lord Brahma says this Hiranyaksha achieved. Especially when one is leaving the body, having the darshan of the Lord and leaving the body is glorious, right? That is what one can be aspiring for. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tajati antakalevaram. Tam tam eva iti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavit. Whatever is the state of mind at the time of death. And here, he is so blessed that he is leaving the body looking at the moon-like face of Lord Varahadeva. So, the perfection of yoga practice is achieved by a kick of the Lord, actually. Varahadeva. So, in this way, by killing Hiranyaksha, the Supreme Lord went to his own abode. By hearing the katha of Lord Varahadeva's pastime, Srimad Bhagavatam says, one who sincerely hears is relieved from all sinful activities. Hiranyaksha was the personification of sin. So hearing that how the sin is eradicated, within our heart also the sins will be eradicated. And then, including killing a Brahmana, any kind of Brahmana killing is the worst kind of sin. That can be eradicated also. Like Lord Varahadeva brought auspiciousness. Auspiciousness also comes in one's life. So in this way, it is actually stated that two Varahas we said, Swayambhuva Manvantara, Saksha Manvantara, Sweta Varaha, Rakta Varaha. But it is also stated elsewhere that there are 5 forms of Varaha. 5 times the Lord Varaha appeared. These two. And then there is another occasion. Many times the Lord Varaha comes. Many times he comes. On another occasion, after lifting Earth planet, he actually taught the method of sacrifice and spoke Varaha Purana. In one occasion he spoke Varaha Purana. He lifted earth and taught the Vedic process and taught Varaha Purana. On the 4th occasion he lifted Mother Earth and with his teeth he grinded the earth and made the earth even. She was uneven. He grinded it and made it even. And earth assumed the form of Varahi, and she became Varahadeva's consort. And that is 4th. And the 5th time, 5th is perpetually the Lord is holding the earth planet. Perpetually is holding. 5 types of Varahas. Varahadeva. In near Vishakhapattanam, there is a place called Simhachalam. When Hiranyakashipu was trying to kill Prahlad Maharaj, he used many ways, administering poison, putting in the fire, etc. Once he was he gave the instruction to his servants, okay, you throw Prahlad from the hill into the sea. Once he falls in the sea, you put that mountain and crush him. So, Hiranyakashipu's servant came to this Simhachalam at the time and they threw from this hill. It's a hill next to the sea actually. And the Lord came and protected him. And after Hiranyakashipu was killed, in the same place, Simhachalam, Prahlad Maharaj said, "My dear Lord, I want to see your form of Varaha and how you killed my uncle." Father ko bhi maar diya, uncle ko bhi maar diya, koi problem nahi hai. I want to see your Varaha form. So Nrsimhadev has got a lion head, So he showed the boar head actually. He showed the Varaha form. And the Lord as the Varaha form, he is Nrsimhadev showing the Varaha form. And the Lord is known as Varaha Lakshmi Narsimha. It's Varaha Narsimha in Simhachalam. So much the Lord was angry that he was feeling so much hot, the Lord is covered with sandalwood paste throughout the year. If you go to see, you will see something like a Shivalinga only, sandalwood paste. Once in a year they remove the sandalwood, put a new paste, that is on Akshaya Tritiya. So if you want to see the Varaha form of Nrsimhadev, you can go only on one day, that is Akshaya Tritiya day, Simhachalam. And also, Tirupati actually belonged to Lord Varaha. After killing Hiranyaksha, Lord Varaha came and took rest, and it is known as Adi Varaka Kshetra. Tirupati is Adi Varaka Kshetra because it happened in the previous Manvantara, previous Yuga. So the Lord, when he wanted to perform his pastimes as Venkateshwara, beginning of Kali Yuga, he wanted a place. He came to Tirupati. Varahadeva को बोला हमको थोड़ा जगह चाहिए. ठीक है. Now most people they go to Balaji only. Many people, those people who know, they know there is a Varahadeva Swami temple also. Right next to Pushkarani there is a Varahadeva temple. And Balaji said, all the offering, because he gave the place actually, all the offering first should be done in Varahadeva temple. After that it happens in for Venkateshwara. And Venkateshwara said that the pilgrimage to Tirupati will not be complete without taking darshan of Lord Varaha in that Varaha temple, Varaha Swami temple. So in this way, Tirupati is also a place where we can get the blessings of Lord Varaha and Venkateshwara also, so that the trip becomes auspicious. So in this way, Lord Varaha performs his wonderful pastime, especially here by kicking Hiranyaksha, by slapping or kicking. You can say kick, because boar has got 4 legs actually. Kicking, he brought auspiciousness. So on this most auspicious occasion of Lord Varahadeva's appearance, we also pray to Lord Varahadeva to kick us. Kick our anarthas in the heart. Anarthas which are seated in the heart, very strong anarthas. Lord's kicking is very auspicious actually. If he can kick out the anarthas within the heart, and that kick can bring the auspiciousness, so he can bring the auspiciousness within the heart, manifesting the holy name, manifesting the holy name within the heart, chanting the holy name, and purify our consciousness so that we can make actually progress in Krishna consciousness to achieve that lotus feet with which he can kick us also. So we pray on this day for the blessings of the Lord so that our Krishna consciousness can progress auspiciously. We stop here. Any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
When you were mentioning about world of duality here, and the spiritual world, there are no dualities. So then how to understand that these two devotees, Jai Vijay, that they could not...
Same.
means twice.
You have got another person thinking in the same way you are thinking. This is like spiritual world. Everybody thinks in the same way. In the spiritual world, everybody thinks the same way. Okay, go ahead.
So earlier they stopped Mother Lakshmi. So how to understand that they could not understand or identify Mother Lakshmi? And secondly, then they stopped these four Kumaras, not understanding that they can come to the world. Surely they are qualified. So how to understand that they became angry also and they are becoming like the eyebrows frowning? How to understand? Thank you.
See, the spiritual world is a non-dual world. There is no negotiation there. There is something called non-negotiable. There is nothing called you can negotiate. Spiritual world is characterized by being absolute. We say absolute truth, absolute tattva, absolute. Oh, so there is nothing, dual there. And this material world is characterized by duality. Characteristic of material. For example, day and night. Sun sets, In the spiritual world, Brahma Jyoti is there, doesn't set. Doesn't set. Then you will ask, Acha, then how do they take rest? How can they sleep? So much light, kaisa soega? There are certain things we have to figure it out after going there. Certain things, certainly you have to figure it out going there. If you try to understand the spiritual world exactly with the conception of the material world, sorry. We are conditioned by the characteristics of the material world. When we talk about spiritual, we are trying to see in the same way spiritual world also should be. No. It is the perverted reflection. Perverted reflection. It may, like for example, the Krishna is also having a form like, is it like us? We are having a form like Krishna to be proper. But then, you can ask then Krishna's form Satchidananda and how it is looking like that and what do they do? How do they, so many things what we are doing, we are trying to understand how do they do there. That will not be conceivable. It will be in the domain of inconceivability. When one actually qualifies himself to be situated in the spiritual domain, then what is inconceivable now can be conceived at the time. Anything that is inconceivable will not be inconceivable throughout. When the consciousness is purified, the inconceivable become conceivable. So in the same way, the doorkeepers, that's the world of non-dual, doorkeepers, how did they stop Lakshmi first? How did they stop four Kumaras first? These are all something that cannot be logically explained with the conception of our material world. Lord's free will is there also. Several times Prabhupada explains, if the Lord wants to fight, with whom he will fight? He can't fight with somebody unqualified. Even if he has to fight with some qualified person. So he makes arrangement like that. So in this way, sometimes it is said they are the doorkeepers, they are not inside. Several explanations are there. But invariably, it is for the purpose of pastime that one has to be how careful, even in the service of the Lord. How to understand the mind of the Lord and act accordingly. He said they didn't act according to what is my want. One is supposed to understand the mind of the master and act. So this is definitely to demonstrate how it is quite possible if one is not careful and if he is offensive, he can come down. But if you ask, then is there any other so many people coming down? That we don't know. There are certain things we know, certain things we don't know. But obviously there are so many residents coming, but not by means of curse. Not by means of curse. To accompany the Lord and take part in their pastime, they come. No problem. So how it has happened is a very inconceivable thing. Inconceivable. But for us to hear, relish, and then get inspired so that we can also imbibe those qualities. So, many of the pastimes are to teach us how we should be doing it in that particular situation when we are put in. It is to teach us how we should be acting, understanding the mind of our master and performing the devotional activities. Accidents can happen on the royal road, so to say. We cannot at any point of time take it for granted everything is fine. One has to be very alert. If Chitraketu, after having the audience of the Supreme Lord, he can be cursed to take birth in the demoniac form. One can ask, how did it happen? What happened? We have to be careful. We have to be careful. Very careful. So much so that Vaishnava Aparad can destroy one's devotional service. With so much effort, we have just come to Krishna consciousness and we got the greatest gift. Who will be the most unintelligent person to lose it? And that loss can happen by Vaishnava Aparad. How could it be? Even if you are a resident of Vaikuntha, that could happen if you are committing offense against a Vaishnava. What to speak of resident of this material world? Vaikuntha Vasi can be subject to that for a Vaishnava Aparad. What about the Bhuloka Vasi? You have not even achieved that. So, how to demonstrate it? Lord is making the pastime. Make it happen. So when the Lord does, there may be so many reasons for him, we cannot even understand, multiple reasons. At least we can understand, yes. Vaishnava Aparad is so serious that even if you are serving the Lord personally in Vaikuntha, still you will fall down. So be careful in the material world, don't do Vaishnava Aparad. We are telling it is serious, serious, serious. So you have to give the extraordinary example, extraordinary is from there also you can come down. Demonstrating that wonderful thing which can remind us when we are going to do a Vaishnava Aparad, then अरे ऊपर जाएगा तो फिर नीचे आना पड़ेगा, फिर नीचे ही तो है, जा ही नहीं सकता है. Even if I had gone, I will come down. I am not even qualified to go. What to speak? So to make us very, very careful and very, very alert. Devotional service is not a casual process. Very serious business, so to say. Very serious. Most serious. Because it's like a razor's edge. One little slip. They were staying in Vaikuntha, just one act. Hey, don't go. Khatam. Niche aa gaya. It doesn't look like some great effort they have done, They just said that andar nahi ja sakta hai. They have to undergo this. So it is to instruct us, day in, day out, analyze what we are doing. More and more careful, more and more cautious, more and more alert. That is what will make Krishna consciousness an auspicious journey moving forward to the lotus feet of Krishna. Hare Krishna. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, वराहदेव की, श्री वराह द्वादशी महामहोत्सव की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे.